Hi, Rob McIver here. This video is about choosing and using a Greek Polytonic keyboard. And towards the end you will find some tips on how to make it easier to use the keyboard. Now the assumption is you will already have a Greek Polytonic keyboard loaded on your laptop or your computer. If that's not the case, you may want to look at another video in this series on how to install a Greek Polytonic keyboard. Towards the end, you will find some information on how to locate that video. Let's begin by talking about how to choose the Greek Polytonic keyboard. How to do so actually depends on your type of computer. Is it a Mac or a PC? On a Mac, you choose the flag at the top of your screen, and that will give you the option of choosing the Greek Polytonic keyboard. On a PC, it depends which version of Windows you're running. In Windows 11, you can find a drop-down menu at the top right hand of your screen usually. That can move around, you can move it if you like. In Windows 10, on the other hand, you'll find the menu at the bottom right of your screen. It probably is showing ENG at the moment, but you click on that and you can choose the Greek Polytonic keyboard. Now that we've selected the Greek Polytonic keyboard, why don't we give it a go? Hey, it's going to be a lot more interesting if you follow along with me. So why don't you start a word processor on your laptop or your computer? You can even pause the video if you don't want to miss out on anything. All right, now that we're ready, let's try typing a letter A and see what happens. Hey, look at that. That's an alpha. What happens with the letter B? As you might expect, a beta. Now, C is going to be interesting, isn't it? Ooh. Well, of course, there's no letter C in Greek, no equivalent anyway, and there's no equivalent in English to the letter psi. So they've mapped the letter psi onto the letter C. Let's go through D, E, F, etc. D. E. F, that produces delta, epsilon, phi. G, gamma. Well, you'd expect that. That's a G sound. Now here is the diagram of where the different Greek letters are mapped on the QWERTY keyboard. The Greek alphabet is mapped exactly the same on a PC and a Mac. The PC is on the top, the Mac is on the bottom. Now I've highlighted the letters which are unexpected. So let's just go through the expected ones for a start. E represents epsilon, R represents rho, T represents tau, etc. On the middle line, A represents alpha, S represents sigma. So most of them are as we might reasonably expect. The two in blue are not totally unexpected, but you may have to think a second before they make sense. Eta, for example, is mapped to H, and when you think of capital Eta, that does make sense. And Chi is mapped to X, so the letters look similar. But there are a couple of interesting ones. W is mapped to final sigma. Well, it had to go somewhere, and there's no W in Greek. V is mapped to omega. But the one that surprises me most is upsilon is mapped to Y and theta is mapped to U. You're meeting a polytonic keyboard for the first time. I've used other Greek keyboards which do this differently, so it may be less of an issue for you than it is for me. The capital letters are mapped as you might expect, where there's a small alpha on a English letter A, there is a capital alpha on the same key when it is in shift mode. So, how are we going to remember where to find all the Greek letters on a polytonic keyboard? Well, most of them will be fairly straightforward, but there'll always be one or two that you need to go looking for. So, is there a quick and easy way to find out where all the letters are? Well, yes, there is. It's called something different on a PC and on a Mac. On a PC, it's called an on-screen keyboard, and on a Mac it's called a keyboard viewer. Let me begin by showing you how to find an on-screen keyboard on a PC, and we'll look at the Mac next. So, on a PC there are two ways to bring up an on-screen keyboard. One is slow but works every time, and the other is fast, but you've got to remember a hotkey. So let's begin by demonstrating the slow but sure way first. So if I come over here and I choose the Windows symbol or press the Windows key, a pop-up will come and it will allow me to search for an on-screen keyboard. So I come up here and I start typing. Oh, look, apparently I've still chosen Greek as the keyboard. Let's go up and fix that. So coming back here, on screen keyboard, and there it is, it pops up. I can choose it, and look, I've got the English keyboard up there. That's no use to me, but it will be quite helpful if I choose the Greek keyboard. And there are the Greek letters: alpha, beta, gamma, well, E, epsilon, rho, tau, and so on. So they are there. And if I press the Shift key, the uppercase Greek letters appear as well. So that is the slow but sure way to find the on-screen keyboard. A faster way is to use hotkeys. Now let me demonstrate that. We have up here the PC screen, and I've made it smaller so you can see what I'm doing on the keyboard. Now, as it says on the screen, the hotkey for the on-screen keyboard is pressing down Control, Windows, and O at the same time. So let me show you. Press Control, Windows, O. There it is, the on-screen keyboard. Control, Windows, O will take the keyboard away again. But that is the very fastest way to get an on-screen keyboard available to you on a PC. In Windows 10, Windows Control O will still work as a hotkey, but if you're searching for it, you choose the Windows icon, search for on-screen, choose it. Well, then I had to go and choose Greek again, and it works for both the uppercase and lowercase. On a Mac, the process is slightly different. Here is a demonstration on how to get a keyboard viewer on a Mac. First choose System Preferences, then Keyboard, then choose Show Keyboard and Emoji Viewers in the menu bar. Choose the icon, ensure the Greek Polytonic Keyboard is chosen, and then Show Keyboard Viewer. And there it is, right in front of you. Well, now that we know where the Greek letters are found on the Greek Polytonic Keyboard, let's think of some things that will make using the keyboard much easier. The first we've already talked about. That is to use an on-screen keyboard from time to time when you're looking for a letter that you can't remember. The second, well, you should have done this already, but you should have memorized thoroughly the Greek alphabet and be able to write it out from alpha to omega, all in sequence. This will give you much greater confidence in working with the Greek alphabet. The third tip is reasonably obvious. That is, just practice using the Greek Polytonic Keyboard. You can practice on pretty much any Greek text. What is showing here is the exercise in Chapter 2 of my book, Beginning New Testament Greek Made Easier. You will see this is a passage taken from Luke chapter 3, without the breathing marks, the accents, and the iota subscripts. It's an exercise just using the alphabet that you know, and you know how to type each one of these letters. But you will ask me, Rob, I need to know how to type breathing marks, accents, and iota subscripts and all their combinations. Well, there is another video on that. It's called 023, How to Type Breathing Marks, Accents, etc. on the Greek Polytonic Keyboard. You can most easily find these videos by either subscribing to my YouTube channel at NT Greek Made Easier, or by following me on x.com at Rob McIver 2024. The videos follow Chapter 2 of my book, Beginning New Testament Greek Made Easier. This book is available on Amazon.com and at other retailers that I will mention in the note. Just make sure you get the most recent edition. Let me say that if you've viewed these videos and done the exercise in the book, you will have pretty much mastered the use of the Greek Polytonic keyboard. And hey, if you found this video useful, why not let me know by either clicking on the like button below or by clicking on the heart icon. Thank you.